Coach MJ, and welcome to Light Ridge High School Volleyball. The first thing that I want to introduce you guys to is the types of skills that there are in volleyball. I know that this might be review for a lot of you guys, especially those of you who have played high school and club volleyball before, but I do have some kids who are interested in playing who have never played before, so I want to make sure that everybody else is starting out with at least some basic information. So we're going to go ahead, and if that's a review for you, you can skip this video and go on to the next one, and if not, this is a great place to start. So the main skills in volleyball that happen actually on the ball, we call them on-the-ball skills, are going to be passing, serving, setting, and hitting. And the importance is really in that order, even though hitting is the most fun for a lot of people. There are other skills that are considered off-ball skills, but we'll talk about them later. So for passing, you're going to want to remember a couple of keys. It's the most fundamental skill of the game, so these are important to have down. First, we're going to start with our lower body, our legs and our feet, which we will call our base for passing. You're going to want to have your base further than shoulder width apart, and some coaches have a preference for whether your right foot is forward versus your left foot being forward. For me, it depends on what's happening during the play and where you're at on the court. So for these basic fundamental skills, I'm fine with you practicing whichever way is most comfortable for you. So part two of your passing base is that you want to have a low center of gravity. So this means that you're going to bend your knees at about a 90-degree angle at your knees. So I'm going to turn around and show you. We're not going to bend over like this to get low. We're going to bend over at our knees, not our hips. And again, that's almost 90 degrees. But we don't want to have our weight be backwards. We want to make sure that our weight is forward so that we can quickly push to go get the ball. So our base is wide and low, but how do we have our weight forward? We want to remember to have our weight on what's called the balls of our feet, which is this area right here. So now that we've talked about our lower body with passing, we need to talk about our upper body because that's how we're actually going to play the ball. We are going to play the ball primarily with our forearms, and we want to have our hands together in what's called a platform. So your lower body is your base, your upper body is your platform. I'm going to put one hand on top of the other and then fold them together and push out. Most girls can have their elbows actually touch when they push out, and that makes for a solid platform, and it's better than if your elbows can't touch. But if your elbows can't touch, you can still be a good high school passer. So one tip that high school volleyball coaches and college volleyball coaches like to talk about is that the ball knows angles. The ball is going to go where your platform is pointing. So if I wanted to push the ball over there, I'd want my platform, my arms together, facing over there. If I want to put the ball over there, I'm going to face my platform that way. If I want to put the ball straight up and down, I'm going to have my platform high. So if I wanted to do a drill where I pass the ball to myself, it's going to look a little bit like this. Okay, so I'm going to remember all of my keys with my feet apart and one foot slightly in front, with my weight down, with my weight forward, and then with my arms together. And I'm going to just pass myself the ball, trying to keep it going in a row, and remembering that the ball knows angles. So one other tip and piece of advice for passing is that you always want to keep your body behind the ball. We call this midline passing, because if you pretend that you make a line in your body in the middle of it, that's your midline. You want to make sure that if the ball is coming from a point that's not you, right, you're not passing yourself the ball in the game, that you get your midline behind the ball. This is just helpful because it helps you control the ball when it's coming at you with a lot of force. It's easier to talk about this one when we're in the gym. If you have any questions about that, some coaches teach it this way and some coaches don't. I promise you I've thought a lot about it and have my reasons why we're doing it this way. But remember, midline passing when we get in the gym. Thanks for watching this video about the passing keys and the most fundamental skills about volleyball. Be on the lookout for future videos that talk about each of the other skills just as in-depth as this one. Again, passing is the most fundamental, which is why I wanted to get it out to you guys first.